I have flown to Barcelona, Spain to play the most important tournament of my life. The Sunway Chess International, regrouping 242 chess players from over 40 different countries. At my current rating of 2079, this is a global test of my true level against top competition. Only 12 points away from my peak achieved last month, I seek to cross 2100 for the first time ever. Welcome to episode 7 of my 10-round tournament in Sitges, Spain. This recap is sponsored by our friends over at Chess Reps. If you're looking for a way to memorize your openings in a science-backed way, I highly recommend Chess Reps' software. You can choose from a multitude of openings from their diverse catalog. You can also now create a chess course from your own PGN file and learn through the Chess Reps software. Find the link in my description to try Chess Reps for free for 7 days. Welcome to round 7 of this monumental tournament for me. After last round's win, my first win against a grandmaster, I am the lowest rated player in the entire tournament with 4 out of 6 points. And I am now facing a 16-year-old 2290 FIDE Master. Very scary statistics. His name is Maxime, he's from Belgium, and I sat down at the board and I start speaking French to him and he goes, because he doesn't know that I speak French from my content that is all in English. And so he's shocked. And I attempt to shock him in the opening as well, to give him a double shock. So I start with e4, he goes c5, and after knight f3, he goes knight c6, and he told me after the game he was planning on surprising me with a Kalashnikov Sicilian. So after d4, he takes, and e5 here. Whereas he usually plays the classical or the dragon or one of these other Sicilians. So I went and surprised him with an opening I have never played in my life before on move 3. And it's a massive opening. It's the Rossolimo Attack. I played bishop b5. Bishop b5, the Rossolimo Attack. I have never played this before in my life. In round 3, I played the Moscow variation for the first time in my life, but this is the Rossolimo, completely different opening, although both have bishop b5 in them. The point is that white in most lines wants to trade off this light squared bishop, give off the bishop pair for this knight in exchange of doubled pawns, and then you play against the light squared bishop by placing your pawns on light squares and taking space in some cases with e5 or pushing f4. There's a lot of plans given per variation that your opponent chooses, but your opponent chooses the variation, and my opponent goes main line g6. So I took d takes. This is more popular than b takes these days. And then I played d3. So I'm solidifying my pawn, and after bishop g7, a developing move, the black pieces want e5 to fix these pawns in the center and have good control over d4. Here I continue to play against this bishop, the light squared bishop, with h3. And so now my goal is to reduce the impact of this light squared bishop as much as I possibly can. My opponent goes b6, which is like the third most popular move. He wanted to take me off book, and I was completely off book after this. So I have nothing, I know nothing. I castle, very normal move. You want a complete development on the king side. And after knight f6, here there's 2 ways that white can pursue. And I was thinking of the number 1 most popular way, which is e5. You're taking space in the center, and you're going to go with rook e1 soon, solidifying this pawn on e5. And this pawn aims to play against this dark squared bishop. But I was thinking, it's maybe overextending. I'm out of book, so I don't know this. It's maybe overextending. This light squared bishop now has a square. Maybe not. So instead I played rook e1. And here my opponent played knight d7. And now here I have to play e5. Last chance for this plan to work is you play e5 now, take up this space, best move. And then I was thinking maybe knight f8, knight e6. The black pieces get a nice blockade, and black gets a nice fixation on d4 anyways with the queen on d8. But this is still the best way to play. This bishop remains terrible after a move like e5. So this was the next best thing, but I play knight c3. And this is not so good. Either you go with e5 in this position, or you go with a quick knight h2 f4 in this position. Something like this. Also, plans are a4, a5, or sometimes a4, knight a3 in these modes. I don't know any of this. Even now, my theory is kind of shaky because it is such a diverse opening. Those of you who play the Rossolimo stronger or weaker than me will tell me to my face, yeah, it's a wide opening to learn. It's very complex opening. So knight c6, inaccuracy. So I let in e4. And now my opponent has a very simple plan. He wants to go knight f8, knight e6, knight d4, and take up that d4 square and just have a very nice outpost on this square. So I go bishop g5. It's the best move. I'm trying to kick the queen here, and if f6 is induced, I created a weakness for my opponent, and now this light square diagonal is very weak. So my opponent just moves the queen away, and now I can efficiently develop with queen d2. This is equal, flat equal, almost 0, 0, 0, right? h6, bishop back, and now I have a target. My opponent cannot castle because I can take here. So he goes knight f8. He starts his plan. He's emerging onto d4 as soon as possible. And I see this, and I play knight e2, and now c3. I'm trying to block knight d4 as soon as possible. But c3 is a huge mistake positionally, because although I take this square back for myself on d4, my pawn on d3 becomes an immense target, and that was the trade-off in this position. You should let this knight go to d4 instead of playing c3 and burdening yourself with a bigger weakness, this d3 pawn. And now my opponent plays very nicely. Bishop a6, energetic, going on this pawn on d3. I go queen c2, rook a d8, and now I defend with rook a d1, and now he can castle because my queen is off this diagonal, so black pieces can castle. And the black pieces have a very comfortable game. This bishop isn't as bad as it usually is. It has a very nice diagonal and a very nice target on d3. This knight is outlooking on two potential outposts on f4, on d4, and this bishop is promoting the pressure along this diagonal. It's not the best bishop in the world, but it has some long-term potential. And breakthrough-wise, black is the only one with a breakthrough here, which is the reason why the black pieces are doing so well. This f5 push is coming in at any time. So I play knight h4, prophylactically defending against this f5 push, but this knight, you just need to ask the question, what is it doing on h4? It's a terrible piece. The knight on the rim is dim. A little bit better would have been to play a3 and b4, this plan. Very interesting. So rook d6, my opponent just aims to peacefully put pressure more and more on this d3 pawn, slowly doubling rooks. And although the material is completely equal here, black is -1. Why? Because white has no way to create some kind of counterplay. The white pieces are completely positionally lost in this position. So I try to double rooks myself. Queen d7, rook d1, queen e7, g3, defending my knight. He's inducing g3 to create two additional weaknesses so that his knight can penetrate in my territory. So knight g5. So I go king g2, defending. Kramnik always said, when you have like g3 pushed and you don't have a bishop here, you should take up that square, that extra square with the king on g2. Now, Kramnik is not, I'm talking about chess here. Yeah, respect a world champion's opinion. Okay, cut that whole last 30 seconds, Bez. So my opponent now plays bishop c8 and brings additional pressure on h3. The white pieces are in shambles. Rook h1, c4. He's breaking through. And now all kinds of tactics arise if I take here. He has bishop takes h3. What? If I take, he can now take this, trade, and now play knight takes rook. And although you're saying, oh, okay, there's two pieces for a rook here, it's completely game over because of queen d7 picking up this extra bishop. So I can't take this pawn. It's actually completely losing. So I have to play something else. I take off this knight, pawn takes, and now I go knight f3. And believe it or not, it's completely lost. You can see that eval bar, so can I. But the material's even. Why? Okay, here my opponent had this insane bishop takes h3, which he missed. I'm just curious. I didn't see this during the game either. King takes g4. Oh my god, this game could have gone another direction. Queen g4 is crazy. Actually, that's crazy. That's genuinely crazy. So my opponent misses bishop takes h3. If rook takes, there's g4 with the fork, right? So he plays f5 instead. Going for my king, opening things up in a greater capacity. So rook e1, my position just can't take the tension. He goes with the final blow to my heart with this c5, and now bishop e7 is ensuing. I have to give something, so I give this trade. The rook can't take because of queen c4, is of course. So I have check, king here, and now knight d2, but it's too little too late. Queen d7, and now I'm forced to defend very passively, and this is bound for tactics. He takes on e4, and then plays bishop d5, and my queen has to go to a6, basically, after which he's just going to win a full piece up. And so I resign here, sadly, but I'm still in a very happy mood. I have 4 out of 7 points in a very strong tournament, performing way above my rating and up in ELO. In the next game, I play a French 40-year-old who's up 125 ELO in the last year, and he plays against me the alien gambit. I'm not lying. This was my reaction when he played it.